Hey, what it do? What it do? You already know what it do. It's the big boss hog, boss dog. K-Po through the door. Hit the top of the box, forget my soliloquy. Remember, tough times don't lie. It's good people do. On off yourself, call them in the hotline, remember you matter. Peep game. Peep game 84 was fun. Y'all know I gotta throw Houston in there. We clutched up, we clutched out. We know what we talking about. That boxing. Before we get into the main entree, the main dish, gotta introduce each other host, man. Future Hall of Famer, future pro coach, Brody on the hustle, aka Coach B. Let me know how you feeling, man.
Hey, what it is, folks? Like Capo said, what we always say. We clutched up, we clutched out. You know what we're here to talk about. We finna talk about this boxing real quick. But like you say, before we get into the entree, the meat and potatoes of the situation, y'all know what I'm finna tell y'all. Hey, God wake you up. He put breath in your body. Everything else is extra. Do what you gotta do. Take care of you. Take care of the fam. And with that being said, you finna spend the next 30 minutes, maybe an hour, with your two favorite hosts that'll never leave you in the dark by any post when it comes to the boxing scene. Now, with that being said, K-Po, go ahead, continue the show. Let's let them know how we flow.
Already. So, Jaime Munguía, man, just test positive for a banned substance. I believe it's some type of steroid. They caught it in his system. He had 24 hours to basically submit his B sample. Jaime Munguía is pleading his innocence. He's coming off of a win against, he avenged his loss against the Frenchman. I don't even know how to say his name, so I'm not even going to try. I ain't even going to try. You know what I mean? I ain't even going to go down that road. But the dude from France, he left beaucoup serve watch this squad. Or whatever that means. I don't know what that means. But he lost to him the first time. Came back and avenged his loss. And now he's testing positive for a banned substance. Now the changes that Jaime Munguía has made was he was not training with Canelo team for the first fight. For the second fight, he trained with Eddie Reynoso and the Canelo team. Boom, he pops 30. Right? So there's been a lot of backlash towards Canelo Alvarez and Canelo's team as far as Eddie Reynoso and everybody in the Canelo camp. So, Coach, the question I have for you is, how do you feel about Jaime Munguía testing positive for this banned substance? Also, does Canelo Alvarez deserve blame, or does his team deserve blame? And as a pro fighter, I know there's a lot of questions. As a pro fighter, should you basically be monitoring everything you put in your body? Remember those something?
To answer your last question first, yes. I don't care who you are, what sport, entertainment you're involved in, anything, anybody hands to you, from your GM all the way down to your fellow athletes that train with you, amongst you, along, however you want to put it. Anything anybody hands to you, you should be 100% observant and kind of skeptical about it. Not saying people are trying to taint and throw dirt and salt on your name and tarnish your career, but at the same time, if I'm a professional athlete, I'm just watching what people give me, period. Matter of fact, I might not even accept anything because I'm not a cheater. I don't need to cheat to be anybody. You know what I'm saying? My work ethic alone, period. If I'm a professional, whatever type of athlete, my skill set, my mindset, my IQ, my training ability, whatever I'm set out to do, is going to be enough to prove to my opposition and everybody else, like, hey, win or loss. This dude, he works his tail off. He does night in, night out. He busts his butt. He busts his balls. Pause. No freak. He's in full effect at this point to do what he got to do to make sure his hand is raised. He's the victor. He's the champion. He's whatever they got out there for these sports. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Yes, you should be monitoring what you are digesting into your body, because you never know what people got up their sleeve for you. You never know what people trying to do to taint your career. You know what I'm saying? And along with that, to answer one of your other questions, why is Canelo getting blamed? Canelo ain't got nothing to do with Jaime Munguía what he ingests and intakes in his system and what he puts in his body. Canelo ain't got nothing to do with that. Neither does Eddie Reynoso. We have the time when these fighters venture off after they're done training. Most of the time, the trainers not gonna say not worried about it, but at the same time, they're kind of going off into their own. You go with your family, I go with my family, and tomorrow when we see each other, we see each other. They not monitoring each other 100% on that level to say, hey, what you doing, man? I got my eyes on you. I'm gonna walk you home. I'm gonna make sure you get in the house, safely. They're not doing all that. You're a grown man. You know what I'm saying? What you do outside of us training is what you do. So why Canelo's getting backlash? Why is Eddie Reynoso getting backlash for this? I don't understand. Now, I get it. People could tie it into, Canelo was taking that stuff back in the day. He might be back on that stuff. So he got people who's training with him taking it. Okay, I get it. You can point the finger, but at the same time, come on now, let's be real. Let's not turn this into something that don't need to be. Canelo, Eddie Reynoso, and his training staff and everybody else that goes along with it should not be getting backlash for what Jaime Munguía does as a grown-ass man. Excuse my French. And as far as whatever was found in the system, I don't understand. You've made it thus far without it. So from what we know, you made it thus far without it. You're a professional fighter. You've got your name out there. You fought on the highest of the highest level at this point in your career. Why go and risk it with something like this? And in the long run, you're only hurting yourself. You're hurting your career, you're hurting yourself, you're hurting your family, you're hurting your resume, your legacy, and all that other good stuff to come along with it. So why would you do this? Why would you risk it knowing eventually it's going to come out? And if you did make it past the obstacle the first time, why would you try it again thinking it's going to happen consistently? This is a professional sport. Somebody's going to catch you. Somebody's going to say something. Eventually, you're going to pop hot, especially if you feel like you're riding a wave. Ain't nobody paying attention. Ain't no eyes on you. Okay, you're not the star of the sport. Okay, cool. Somebody, eventually it's going to come out. And now look, now you're in trouble. Why do it? It's no point. You've made it all the way to the top. You're a professional fighter. You've been in the ring with stellar fighters. Don't tarnish your legacy and your resume and everything else that comes along with it with something that really doesn't help you at the end of the day. You still got to go out there and go against that guy that's across the ring. It's not going to help you with your mental. It's not going to help you with everything else that's going to come along with stepping in the ring against your opposition. It's not going to help you. It may make you faster. It may make you stronger. It may make you help. It may help you withstand some punching or some punishment. But at the same time, you still have to go out there and execute. It doesn't help with execution. Stop taking these dang on drugs. Stop taking it, man. It just don't make sense to me, especially as a fighter. Stop taking it. It's going to come out because it's going to show within your body type. If you come out and you normally look like the regular old Joe Schmo and you perform well, but all of a sudden the next two fights you look like you've been ripped up, you jacked and you got lean muscles and you got your six pack showing and you ain't never had a six pack. Okay, somebody finna test you. Stop trying to dump shit. Excuse my French. But with that being said, I'm gonna leave that like that. Again, the blame can be put on Canelo and Eddie Reynoso on this training staff. Jaime Munguía, there's no room for this. There's no point in doing it. And again, just keep your mind clear. Stay away from it. Monitor what people give y'all. Not saying everybody's bad, but at the same time, you are a professional athlete. You held to a different standard. So when stuff like this comes out, you're going to be punished at a different standard, at a different rate. So just leave it alone. Let it go.
Yeah, I agree. Monitor everything in your body. I'm talking about even to water. Hey, what's that? What's that water that is? Okay, now, you got to have your stuff wrapped tight, especially when you at that top level like that, man, because, he basically had a testosterone enhancer in his body that wasn't naturally produced by his body, right? So he had some type of chemical that, I don't know if it was a gummy that, because they got these testosterone gummies and all that other stuff that, sometimes it doesn't take, right? So, and it could be one of those substances where it masks other substances that he took. You know what I mean? So he
Okay.
may have took something and took that to mask whatever he really took. You know what I'm saying? But like Coach said, man, just don't take that stuff, man. Get in there, fight. It's boxing. If the dude got your number, he got your number. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? It's your job to figure it out. Train and, come up with a fight plan and just try to execute the fight plan to the best of your ability. You know what I'm saying? Some dudes just better than you naturally. This dude may have Jaime Munguia's number. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's your job as a fighter to think and find ways to basically beat a guy in the ring. That's just what it is. Should Canelo get blamed? No. No, man, I don't got nothing to say about that. Should the trainer get blamed? I mean, unless they have signs of him being directly involved, I'm gonna say no. Now, granted, like I told y'all, there's 6 fighters that's trained Eddie Reynoso. They all tested positive, including Canelo, right? So there's Canelo, Jaime Munguía, Oscar Valdez, Ryan Garcia, and there's two rookie fighters that Canelo has. They all trained with Eddie Reynoso, and they all have tested positive for a banned substance. So, I don't know what they got going on. I don't know if the strength and conditioning coach putting something in the water. I don't know if they knowingly doing. We don't know what they do. We're not gonna sit here and accuse them. All I'm gonna say is they do need to get looked into though, because that is weird. I get if it's 1, 2 guys, all right, but 6, that's where you. And if I'm Canelo, I'm not gonna lie to you. I try to get ahead of this and really try to, hey, strength and conditioning coach, you gone, bro. Why is all these people? Because you making me look bad as far as my gym, right? Because he's the face of that whole thing. His name is Canelo Team. That's why people are coming at him. Now, granted, he don't deserve any blame. Like Coach said, the man be with his family. He not even in the gym training with him and Munguia, probably. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, they do probably train together. But Canelo go home to his family. I'm gonna go home or stay at the gym, whatever. I don't know what their arrangements is. All I'm saying at the end of the day is that I would try to get ahead of it if I'm Canelo and remove whoever I need to remove out my camp. Or I'll start questioning, hey, why is this happening? Why does this keep happening? Because now you're making my gym look bad. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So, I mean, you agree with that, coach, or am I tripping? You know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't you want to get ahead of that? Like, let me figure out why this keep happening. Because 6 times is good. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I agree. Six times it's outrageous. It's outstanding. Like, you're now 6 of 6. Everybody that has trained within your gym has all of a sudden tested positive. Whoever it is, he needs to figure it out. They need to get gone. They need to get put out. They need to get banned from the sport of boxing, being able to be involved in the sport of boxing or any sport, period. People always find a way to come back and get involved in different aspects in different ways, but yet they still carry out the same mannerisms as they did before, but yet they find different ways to do what they did and mask it, like K-Po said. But at the same time, if I'm Canelo, hey, let's seesaw operation. I need to talk to you, and Eddie Reynoso, everybody I talk to, I need you to be here. Because if you know about it, then guess what? You might be on your way out too. Period, point blank. Because this here is absurd. It's unnecessary. We don't need it. Now, if Canelo and Eddie Reynoso know about it, then guess what? All that, you know what I'm saying? Y'all need to be punished. How, or what? The maximum punishment for whoever's involved in it. If Canelo and Eddie Reynoso know, which I don't think wholeheartedly Canelo and Eddie Reynoso is willingly and deliberately, intentionally giving guys steroids, but there's somebody within that realm of who they operate with doing this. Whether the fighters know it or not, they could be sneaking in there trying to make sure their fighters, show up and give the best performance they could possibly give. But at the same time, like I say, you can do all that you want. That ain't got nothing to do with execution. Execution is a whole different part of the plan. And there's no steroid, no ostarine, no HGH or whatever y'all want to call it that can help you with execution. Period. There's none of that. But at the same time, with all that being said, Canelo needs to cease operations. Everybody needs to go up under the gun. Everybody needs to go up under the fire. Everybody needs to go sit down and talk one-on-one with Canelo and Eddie Reynoso and figure out what the problem is, who's doing it, and that part of the root system, wherever it stems from, needs to be cut, and it needs to be cut immediately.
Exactly. Speaking of cutting, we're going to cut on to the next topic. Edwin De Los Santos is fighting Keyshawn Davis next Saturday. And Keyshawn Davis, I believe, I want to say in his hometown of Norfolk, Virginia. This is a step-up fight for Keyshawn Davis. So they asked Edwin De Los Santos, they say, man, like, do you feel like Keyshawn Davis is, who would you rate better, Shakur Keyshawn? And Edwin De Los Santos said this. He said he believes that Shakur Stevenson is a more skilled boxer than Keyshawn Davis. He says that Stevenson's skills and mobility are superior to Davis's, citing Stevenson's performance in fights as evidence. He also stated that he doesn't consider Davis even close to being the best opponent of his career, attributing that distinction to Stevenson. Now, y'all who watch Boxside Boxing, y'all already know how I feel about this. So I'm not going to say a word. We're going to let Coach cook on this. So the question I have for you, Coach, is basically, do you agree? Is Shakur Stevenson better, an all-around better fighter than Keyshawn Davis? Let me know something.
All-around better fighter, no. Mobility-wise, yes. IQ-wise, yes. Master distance, yes. But at the same time, I don't even know how Edwin De Los Santos comes up with this idea of even putting out this synopsis or this topic on these two fighters when you've been in the ring with Shakur Stevenson, and like I say, I hate to keep picking up sticks and beating up on a dead horse, but at the same time, how can you even really apply this to a real life scenario when all Shakur Stevenson did in the fight between you two is kind of get up on his bicycle and make his way around, ride his way around the ring? I don't see how this adds up to what Edwin De Los Santos is saying. I'm just gonna let this. I'm gonna put this on medium low, and I'm not even gonna really cook on this because it don't make sense to me in my head. I get what you're doing. I get what you're saying. You're trying to kind of up and up, the fight that you got going. You try. But with all that being said, my question to you is, with you saying that Shakur Stevenson is an all-around better fighter than Keyshawn Davis, my question to Edwin De Los Santos is, when you get in the ring with Keyshawn Davis, are you going to watch him? Is what you're saying? In other words, like say what you got to say to me. I don't have time to beat around the bush. I don't have time to read but in between the lines. If you saying you finna get in the ring and watch Keyshawn Davis, okay, I don't believe it. If you saying that Shakur Stevenson is a better fighter, what you need to do when you get in the ring with Keyshawn Davis come fight night is watch him. Because I don't believe you can watch him. I don't believe that at all. And I think this was just a little statement to put out the fact that Edwin De Los Santos is saying in kind words, hey, I'm getting here and I'm going to beat up on Keyshawn Davis. But I don't think that's going to happen in my opinion. But at the same time, I just don't understand how this statement makes sense in comparison to what we seen on the night that Shakur Stevenson and Edwin De Los Santos had their match, had their bout, had their fight, however you want to call it. I don't see how this adds up. You know what I'm saying? And for that, and with that being said, you haven't even been in the ring with a Keyshawn Davis to even compare the two. I get you see what goes on with Keyshawn Davis, but seeing and being in the ring with somebody is completely different. You've been in the ring with Shakur Stevenson and you're about to get in the ring with a Keyshawn Davis. I would have put the statement out after the fact. And I would have put this statement out after the fact. I got in the ring with a Keyshawn Davis and both Shakur Stevenson, and I washed a Keyshawn Davis, because now you putting a huge spotlight on yourself, Edwin De Los Santos, saying that Shakur Stevenson is a whole lot better. And I think, in my opinion, what I'm forming out of the situation is this gonna be a walk in the park. But with all that being said, like I said again, a note to fighters: just let stuff play out before you speak on it. Think before you speak, because this is not adding up to me. I know some people are easily fooled by it. You got your casuals going there and be like, oh, I agree. Okay, what are you agreeing on? How are we agreeing on this when you didn't even get a chance to really set up shop and throw any punches against Shakur Stevenson? And at the same token, you haven't even been in the ring with a Keyshawn Davis. You've seen him. So this statement is, to me, is inaccurate. You can't really put it into perspective until after the fight is over with Keyshawn Davis. And again, I'm taking Keyshawn Davis to beat Edwin De Los Santos 12 rounds. Matter of fact, with that being said, now you just gave Keyshawn Davis motivation. Now I'm simply move my verdict from split decision to unanimous decision, Keyshawn Davis.
Greatly broken down, Coach. All I gotta say is let's see June 8th if he still feel the same. Let's segue off to the next topic. We had a series of fights that happened yesterday. I'm gonna start off with Curmel Moton. Curmel Moton, I don't know, Coach, if you saw that fight. How did he look to you? Do you feel like he is ready for a step up, or you feel like, hey, they need to keep moving him how they moving him? Um, you know, do you see some things that he still needs to learn? How did you feel about his his performance? My bad. What else?
Curmel Moton, Floyd Mayweather, TMT. Keep moving how you move. No reason to rush. I feel like there's a few things he needs to work on, because right now I feel like he's a consistent volume power puncher, and that's great, and that's beautiful, that's wonderful. But eventually you're gonna take this step up in competition, and when you take this step up in competition, guys are gonna start watching film on you. Guys are gonna start being able to avoid some of the conflict that you cause when you get into a ring. And he's a brilliant fighter. He's a brilliant young fighter. I love what Curmel Moton can do within himself. He's short, he's compact, he understands that he doesn't allow any of his opponents to really breathe, and that he's suffocating. He's like a python, in my opinion. Once he gets in there with you and he figures you out, whatever he can go to, that's what he's going to go to until he punishes you, until you just can't take it no more. He knocks you out, or the ref stops it. You know what I'm saying? And that's brilliant. I like the way they operate with Curmel Moton. I say keep moving them along, keep stringing them along the way you are. Don't try to rush him, because I feel like there's still some things he has to develop as far as the defensive aspect. And when I say that, he's not terrible at defense, but at the same time, like I said, he's a pressure fighter. And with that being said, as you take a step up in competition, you're going to have to learn how to come up with different ways to implement your style. And sometimes you may have to scale back a little bit for a couple rounds and figure out, okay, I'm not able to get my rocks off in this manner as I'm used to. So what is it that I need to do? He may need to turn into a counterpuncher. He may need to turn into a slick fighter. He basically, like, what I'm saying is he needs to figure out a way to be like water. You don't want to take that step up and you've only shown one thing, and that's a volume power puncher, and you come forward and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I'm not saying he doesn't have it in his repertoire, because you've seen moments, you've seen flashes in the pot where Curmel Moton can be slick. You've seen where he can be a counterpuncher. You've seen where he can get in the pocket and avoid certain type of punches and certain type of fighter. You've seen where he can find a way, being a short and compact fighter, where he can fight at the jab distance. He can get in range and get out of range. But sometimes some fights you may get into a firefight or a fight period to where the one way that you are finding success may be the only way you're going to find success. And some fighters, when they move up too fast, they forget, you know what I'm saying, throughout the round, in between, bells, hey, what was I doing that made me successful in that last round? And they kind of revert back to who they were, before they took these step-up fights, and it gets them in trouble and they start losing rounds, and that's how they start building up, and that's how they start losing fights. So again, with all that being said, I say keep stringing them along the way he is. No need to rush. Keep moving them how you moving them, and slowly as you move them up, just like Floyd went from the old Floyd to the new Floyd, just like that. Keep moving them the way you moved yourself. No reason to rush. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't change nothing. And eventually, once he gets there, everybody gonna know when it's time to take those step up fights. We gonna see it. Everybody gonna notice it. Floyd gonna see it. Curmel gonna feel it. So like I say, congratulations to him. Keep moving the way you moving. Ain't no need to change nothing.
Yeah, I agree. I just want to see him like you said, Coach, go in that toolbox a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
You got a UD yesterday, United Decision. Um, I just want him to go in the toolbox. Right now, it just look like he'll come for a fighter, and he looking to bully you. Right? He's 5'4", but when he in that ring and he's squatting down, he probably 5'2", 5'3". You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So it's hard to get up under him. Pause. But I just want him to keep learning. Right? There's some, I feel like yesterday in that fight, if he would have, he did a phenomenal job, doing what he normally do. But I think if he would have fought a complete fight, he probably could stop that dude.
Mm-hmm.
Curmel Moton got power. He's compact. You know, he's explosive. I just think that just keep moving him along how they move him. I feel like he'll blossom into, I mean, look at Tank. Look what they did with Tank. Tank was kind of like that early on. Now, Tank was mowing through everybody around this time. You know what I mean? But as he got in the step up fights, you saw him kind of go in his bag a little bit. You know what I mean? So hopefully, as he develops and as he continues to mature in his boxing game and he grows into his body, uh, he'll be able to go in his bag a little bit. But like I said, he's short, so he's 5'4". So a lot of guys he's gonna have to go get. That's the only thing. That's the only issue. Is he's gonna have to go get a lot of guys. I mean, pounds. So, but we shall see. He's fighting at 135. You got Keyshawn, who I think Keyshawn won't even be there by the time he gets to the level. Still
Mm-hmm.
got Billy Mason. I think Billy Mason won't even be there by the time he gets to that level. So he has opportunity to be that new wave, and be that top guy. But they got to move him. We're gonna move into the next topic. We got that boy from H-Time, Jermall Charlo. It's Thomas Lamana. It's a knockout, man. It's a technical knockout when he come back. Coach, floor is yours. What did you see from Jermall Charlo? And do you think he should take a tune-up in his next fight, or you feel like he's ready for the heavy hitters at 168?
Uh, with this being said, I may take some backlash, which I don't care. I'm gonna say what I gotta say, and I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Charlo. A lot of people saying he's back. A lot of people saying he's dangerous than ever. He's returned. Okay, cool. There's nothing wrong with saying that. But at the same time, let's pump our brakes a little bit. Let the man breathe. Let him continue to be poised. Let him continue to build. Let him continue to knock off the ring rust. Let him continue to get back to his true 100% rare form of being Charlo. Let him get back to that undefeated feel. Because right now, in my opinion, though, if I'm Charlo, the way I would be looking at it is, hey, I ain't been in the ring in a minute. I just got in there with a Lamana. Not the greatest of opponents, not that skilled, not that talented, not too much IQ, not too much footwork, not too much head movement, not too much, etc., etc., etc. But at the same time, I did what I had to do with him. I got in there, I used my jab, I got back to my jab. You know what I'm saying? I'm slowly getting the feel for everything. I'm getting the flow of everything, and I did what I had to do. I got him up out of there. But if I'm Charlo personally, I'm not listening to nothing nobody else has to say. I'm listening to myself. I'm keeping my peace. I'm keeping my zen. I'm keeping it contained. I'm keeping it leveled. I'm keeping it in a manner to where I'm in control. Because we all know Charlo never had an issue with his performance. It's what happened. Everything that comes with his performance outside of the ring is his distraction. Right now, like I say, everybody that's saying, "Oh, Charlo's back. Let's do this with him. Let's do that with him. Let's step up this. Let's make this fight happen. Let's go ahead and rush him." If I'm Charlo, y'all pump y'all brakes. Let me move how I want to move. I'm keeping all that away. Not saying it's negativity, and I'm not saying it's positivity, but right now I want to be me. I want to do me. I just got back in a good standing with my brother. I want him to be in my corner. I want my trainer to be in my corner. I want to be present in the moment. And the moment is right now. I just got in there. I got my first dub. I'm building off of it like it was my first professional fight. And as I move along, when I get ready to make my next move, I don't want nobody to know about it. If I say I want Canelo, I want Canelo. And I'm going to say it out of my own mouth. If I say I still want to give Caleb Plant that fade because he slapped me in the face, then that's what I'm going to say when I say it out of my own mouth. Everybody else, STFU. And let me do what I got to do. Let me be Charlo. Let me be great. Let me get all the way back in my rare form before y'all start talking on my behalf. If I'm Charlo. Now, if again, with that being said, great performance from Charlo. Again, he showed a little bit of ring rust in the beginning, but at the same time, he got to that natural, strong, powerful jab. He got behind it, and he was killing old boy with it. And you can see at 168, at 168, that boy is a nightmare. He's strong. He's powerful. He's poised. He's consistent. He's not rattled. You can see on his face, behind each and every movement, it was calculated. Yeah, and it was a little bit slow. Yeah, it was knocking out the ring rust, but at the same time, as he moves forward at 168, it's gonna be a problem for some people. Now, am I saying he's gonna go in there and watch the whole division? I don't know. It's gonna be some competition. It's gonna be some challenges. But at the same time, from what I seen yesterday, again, it was just a Lamana. It was just a time in Lamana, but that boy looked strong. He looked dedicated. He looked rejuvenated, and it looked like he owned something. It looked like he ready to go in there and prove some people wrong. Like, hey, that one of them Lion twins, they back, and he back at full force. Like I say, I ain't rushing. I don't want you to rush. I say take another little tune-up fight. It could be a step up in competition because I want to see what you look like in a little step-up fight. It ain't got to be the greatest competition. It ain't got to be a lower level competition. But at the same time, in my opinion, I think you should just, string it along, build it all back up, and boom, when push come to shove, if it's Caleb Plant, you still want to get that fade too because, like I say, you got that slap. It is what it is. Give me his fade, even though it might not happen. But at the same time, if it's Canelo you want, then go get Canelo. If it's somebody else in that division you want, then go get him. But at the same time, every move Charlo makes from here on out, after what we've seen, from his last fight, I think he should do it inconspicuously. And I think he should do it in a discreet way. That way nobody knows his move and they can't predict his next move and they can't speak bad on it. Because, guys say speak positive things in the air. But just like you can speak positive things in there, you got haters out there that can speak negative things in there. So I think Charlo should move in solid, just like gangsters do, just like lasagna. Move like lasagna. Keep it quiet.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, his performance was pretty good. You know what I mean? Body type rise, pause, he wasn't ripped. You could tell like he just did enough to make the weight, right? For a while, almost 2 weeks. His jab was money though. Like his jab was that. That's why I say when I got in a debate with somebody on my channel. Them Charlos, Daryl, and I even throw Devin Haney in there. I'm talking about current fighters. One of the best jabs in boxing. Their jab, like the Charlos, their jab is powerful. Especially Jermall. Jermall used to drop dudes at 154 with jabs. You gotta understand how good and powerful your jab is to drop somebody with a jab. He was busting up Thomas Lamana with just a jab. Right? Wasn't really doing nothing spectacular. He was calm, cool, and collected. Jab. Every chance he got, jab. He kept that jab in that dude crazy. And then at one point, he jabbed and then threw the 2 and bust through his buddy guard and still knocked him down. You see the power is there at 168. But he did look a little rusty to me, in my opinion. So I feel like he needs another tuner. And it's mainly Lamana ain't really give him nothing he needs to be worried about. I'm not gonna lie to you. Charlo was just in there like, that's it. Nah, Charlo was in there with like a Canelo or Dave Benavidez or something like that. Yeah, even a Caleb Plant. Yeah, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it may have been just Thomas Lamana didn't have nothing he needed to be worried about, right? So why overdo it? You know, like my coach said, man, take what he give you, bro. If he ain't, you ain't got to do that extra stuff. Hey, take what he give you. You know what I mean? And I think that's what Charlo was pretty much doing. Like, hey, this dude here ain't got nothing for me, man. I'm just gonna take my time. You know, bust him up, pause. And there ain't no stopping the fight. So overall, congratulations, but I do want to see him in another tune-up. Some people are thinking, Coach, that he should fight Resendiz, which the guy who beat Caleb Plant. So what you think about that? You think he should go that route, or like you said, the tune-up?
In my opinion, I think him fighting Resendiz would actually, in my opinion, in any representation to me, that would be a step up in a tune-up fight. That would be a nice step up in competition and a nice tune-up fight. I don't think Resendiz really has anything that would present a huge problem for Charlo. And I'm gonna hold what I gotta say because we're gonna talk about this fight next. But at the same time, Resendiz did what he had to do. But at the same time, if I was to put that same performance from Resendiz in there with a Charlo, the way Charlo was jabbing and confident with his 1-2, with his straight punches, all that would have been nullified and voided what Resendiz was doing if he was in the ring with Charlo. Because again, the jab is still precise. It looks powerful at 168. It looks accurate, and it looks like it's money. So I think those two straight punches coming from Charlo versus Resendiz, excuse me, that's what they want to call him, Resendiz. But I think that all that would be nullified. But I would like to see that fight. I ain't gonna lie, that'll be a decent fight. That'll be a solid step up in competition. That'll be a nice little tune-up fight. Now, I would like to see it. I ain't got no problem with it.
Yeah, I think I would be cool with it. You know what I mean? I don't see any issue with that fight. Resendiz, I actually feel like that's tailor-made for Charlo. I feel like Charlo bust him up, pause. After he bust that pack, leave that man sunny side up like he's sunbathing. That's what I think. But yeah, at the end of the day, we shall see. You know, Charlo is talking a different tone. He's talking about he wants that smoke with Caleb Plant still. He's like, I don't care, I need my get back. He slapped me. Which I'm not. I'll tell you, we would have fought a long time ago. That was just me. You know, you slap me, we fighting right then and there. Ain't nothing nobody can do. As a man, ain't nothing nobody can do. Ain't nobody, hey dog, let's just wait. Nah, ain't no wait, nothing. Get out the way or you finna get slapped right now. I need to go. He slapped me, bro. That's equivalent to a man spitting on you, in my opinion. I'm sorry. Me and Kayla would have fought. I know it's my fault. You know, I tugged your beard or whatever, but nah, bro. You ain't finna slap me. I mean, you can tug my beard or knock my hat off or whatever. You slap me? Nah, bro. I'm sorry. I'm going to jail. I'm like, hey man, get my bond ready, man, because I'm finna, that's what it is. But we're gonna set up to the next one. Caleb Plant, man, huge favorite. I ain't gonna lie, I thought he was gonna box circles around this boy. Loses to Resendiz. And even then, they tried to rob Resendiz. They talking about split decision. I had a unanimous. I'm not gonna lie to you. I ain't give Caleb Plant one round. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought Resendiz did a phenomenal job just taking it to Caleb. Pause. But people on my channel already know how I feel about that fight. So, Coach, the floor is yours. How did you feel about that fight? Do you think Caleb Plant is done? Or do you think it was just poor game planning? Or do you feel like he was looking past Resendiz?
I'm gonna be quite frank right here. I think it was a mixture of everything. I think it was a concoction of Caleb Plant simply looking past Resendiz. I think it was a concoction of poor fight planning for Resendiz. I think it was a concoction of, forget the concoction stuff. I'm gonna tell you what I really thought. Forget all that. I'm not finna, back down memory lane or whatever. I'm gonna tell you, I had it a little bit different. I had Caleb Plant simply, coasting by the first 2 rounds because Resendiz really didn't, apply any pressure. He really didn't look for anything. He was just sitting there downloading information. But at the same time, I'm going to tell you the real changing point of this fight. And after this happened, Caleb Plant really didn't know what to do because he didn't. I don't think Caleb Plant expected Resendiz to land that punch in the 3rd round. After that's when everything changed. When Resendiz, I believe it was the 2nd or 3rd round, whatever round it was, everybody knew because when he landed this punch, you seen a big bright purple and red and blue stripe down the middle of Caleb Plant's nose. When he landed that punch, Caleb Plant was like, "Oh, this nigga hit me. Excuse my French. This dude hit me. My bad. Apologies. My bad. This dude just hit me. He hit me in my face and he hit me hard. I think my nose might be bleeding. I think my nose might be broke. Is it my forehead?" Caleb Plant got the touching his face with his glove. He got the rubbing around. He got the feeling like, is my eye swollen? Is my nose swollen? He got the blowing out snot boogers. And everybody knows in the sport of boxing, when you get hit in the nose like that, the last thing you should do is be trying to blow anything out because all you're going to do is cause swelling. You're going to cause clogging and you're going to have trouble breathing. As a boxer, once you clog that nose, once that nose get clogged and you cannot properly breathe out of the nose, you start opening your mouth. And once you start opening your mouth, you're susceptible. You're getting real susceptible to getting your jaw broke. Because everybody knows that mouthpiece is in there for a reason. You got that mouthpiece in there, you bite down on it, you inhale through your nose and you exhale through your mouth. Caleb Plant didn't know what to do. And once he caught that punch to the face, he went back to the corner. He came out. He thought the fight plan was still intact. Resendiz felt, he smelt, he seen blood in the water. And after that, it was all over. Caleb Plant had no answer. He thought he was going to go in there and just kind of dance around and kind of make it through a fight and live to fight another day. And he did. Resendiz had other spoilers in his plan. And the fight plan Resendiz had, I believe it came from when he was his sparring partner. Like, come on now. I was a little surprised, but not too surprised to the point where I was like, oh my God, Resendiz is beating Caleb Plant. They're former sparring partners. When you get in the ring, a real fight, it goes on your resume. It goes as a win or a loss. When you get in the ring with your former sparring partner, your sparring partner that you probably used to pick on and take advantage of is not in there to play games with you. He has a real opportunity. And not just any opportunity. He has an opportunity to take a belt. He has an opportunity to be paid. He has an opportunity to seize control of his life for a little bit. This man had all the motivation. His child is getting ready to be born. This man, Resendiz, had all the motivation to go in there and wipe the floor with Caleb Plant. And Caleb Plant let all this happen. He let all this unfold right here in this very fight. Resendiz had no respect for you being the champion, you being his former sparring partner, you being slick, you being a great counterpuncher, you being able to move around the ring better than he does, you having a higher IQ, you having a better hand speed, whatever the case, Resendiz didn't care about none of that. And that's what I liked about Resendiz in his fight. He came in there as an underdog, but he fought like the big dog. He came in there, he wouldn't worry about no bark or bite. Resendiz came in there and showed, I'm not even finna bark at you. I'm finna just bite and see how you respond. Now, for Caleb Plant, I think the fight plan for him, the fight plan adjustment should have been stick and move. Caleb Plant just kind of moved. He gassed out early. I think Caleb Plant was done by round 6. I think he was tired by round 6 because Resendiz, again, he landed a little short, choppy body shot, right in the midsection. And Caleb Plant ain't soggy in the midsection. He got a little 6-pack, but in my opinion, when you got a 6-pack, all that means is you ain't ate a lot in the last few days. You know what I'm saying? 6-pack don't mean you strong, don't mean you cut up, don't mean none of that. It mean you just been eating very, very little the last few days. But anyways, that's another story for a different day. But like I said, I think Caleb Plant was gassed out in about round 6. And I didn't think he had anything left in the tank to really offer Resendiz to back him off. Resendiz wasn't respecting anything Caleb Plant was doing. And Caleb Plant was really throwing little, I don't even know how to call it. He was throwing like feint. He was throwing a feint and he was throwing a jab, but the jab didn't have any pop on it. Caleb Plant didn't throw many uppercuts. He didn't throw many hooks. He didn't throw many overhands. It was kind of like a 1-2. It was a straight party. He was just throwing a 1 and a 2 most of the fight. Resendiz wasn't worried about none of that. He was walking through him. He was coming forward. He was pressuring him. He was catching Caleb Plant with his hands down. And I don't understand why Caleb Plant didn't resort to the high guard after that, because he could have got in the high guard and simply moved the way he was moving. He could have stayed in the high guard, threw his 1-2-1-2 combination, or a 2-1-2, however you want to throw it. If you want to throw straight punches, that's fine, but you wasn't throwing it consistently. I don't think Caleb Plant threw a 4-punch combination at all in this fight, in my opinion. If he did, it was lazy and half thrown. But again, shout out to Resendiz, Caleb Plant. I'm not gonna say you done, but at the same time, because I fully respect Caleb Plant as a man and as a fighter, but at the same time, he's always struggled with the type of fighter Resendiz is. It looks like Resendiz in his corner went and got all the fight plans from previous fights that Caleb Plant had with pressure fighters, and they put it all in one, and they really wiped the floor with Caleb Plant in this match. And like I said, I gave Caleb Plant the first 2 rounds, but after that, I didn't give him a single round. And it is what it is. It's just evident. Caleb Plant, like I said, I'm not going to say he's done, but there's a lot of things he can fix. And I don't know if he can fix at this point in career. I would try to, if I want to come forward and still get my match with Charlo and still try to get, still continue my revenge tour. But at the same time, all that unnecessary movement has to go. When your opponent is idling in front of you, let your dang on hands go. Let them go. You got some speed. It ain't the greatest speed, but you got some speed behind your hands. When it's time to move with some conviction. Move like you trying to, I'm not saying run around the ring, but move like you know how to move. You know how to slip, you know how to drop, you know how to pull, you know how to roll, you know how to weave, all that stuff. Caleb Plant is not clueless when it comes to boxing, but in this fight against Resendiz, he seemed like he was a little lost, like a deer in the headlights, and the performance could have been better from Caleb Plant. I think he could have made this fight way more closer than what it was, but again, shout out to Resendiz. Great job by Resendiz and his team. Again, he's the new champion. He's able to kind of dictate a little bit more and control what happens, in his near future. Hopefully he gets to retain his belt. But you do have a belt now, Resendiz, and I tell this to everybody who goes and gets a belt. You are now the big target. The target is on your back. Somebody wants that belt. Somebody coming for that belt. Just be ready. Continue to build. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. And keep moving forward the way you're doing it. And I feel like Resendiz, he may be a solid person to be holding that belt right now. But I think Caleb Plant, I think they have don't they have a rematch clause, I believe?
They got a rematch clause.
Okay, well be ready, because Caleb Plant, he's gonna come back, and he's not one of those guys you just say, "Oh, I'm looking over you because I beat you the first time." No, he's gonna come back. He's gonna come back faster, stronger, bigger, whatever he needs to do to try to get his title back. Because again, Caleb Plant needs that belt as well in his favor to achieve the goals he's still trying to achieve as he strings along his career. But with all that being said, K-Paul, I'm gonna pass it back to you. Go ahead and let them know how you flow.
I think that Caleb Plant, man, you gotta go back to the drawing board. That's it. Back to the drawing board, and you gotta find a smarter fighter. I heard his coach alluding to an injury. Caleb might be injured. I don't know. But there's no time for excuses at this point. So we shall see how this thing goes. But we the end of the podcast, man. Like I said, to follow us on this journey. We really putting in that work, man. We kind of slowed down on putting out a lot of videos. We want quality, not quantity, right? So that's why we do these long episodes, and we let them cook for a couple of days, and then we come back with something else. But we always working. Don't think we not working. We always working. We always brainstorming. Me and Coach always bouncing ideas off of how we can grow the channel. If y'all have any ideas, come in the comment section. Let us know. We are not men that are opposed to any criticism, right? So if it's positive criticism, like you trying to help us, and it's coming from a place that you genuinely want to help us, hey man, we all for it. You start talking nine and talking reckless, you gonna get body bag. It's okay. So just understand, we men over here, right? So just conduct yourself like an adult. That's all we ask. like I said, this is Genesis. Continue to follow us on the journey. We're gonna continue to go to the channel and Coach always brainstorming. Um, we got a fight card next week, and then Coach might find a way to go live and watch it. You know what I mean? And we might watch it live on my channel and then post it on this channel. You know what I'm saying? You never know. You know what I'm saying? Me and Coach gonna coordinate that out. But we got some more heat coming for y'all. Y'all continue to follow us on the journey. Coach got some fighters. We're gonna start putting some coaching tips on the channel as well. We got ideas for merchandise. We not stopping. All right. We clutched up. You know what we're talking about. Boss, that's coach. We got it.
Salute.